going on?
Hey, nothing much, man. Nothing much. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Can't complain.
All right, all right, all right. So let me see, man. I had my people do a little research on you, man. So I'm gonna see if I could go through some things. They say you're the CEO of Onyx Capital. Is that correct?
Yes, I am. CEO Honest Capital Financial Solutions, where we protect your family most important assets through cash value life insurance while financing your entrepreneurial dreams by leveraging OPM, aka the banks and credit unions money.
Okay. All right, all right, all right. So insurance broker, real estate investor. Yeah, real estate investor as well.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. And a future real estate developer.
okay. Entrepreneurial mindset coach. All
All of
right.
the above, man,
All
for
right, all
sure.
right, all right, all right. And so it says here that a professional with a career experience in sales, customer service, business development, and team leadership, recognizing consulting with clients about needs and delivering total solutional services. All right, man. All right, hey, you sound like you got it going on, man. So what is that? We're gonna talk about this. They brought it out, didn't they? They did some good research on you,
They
man.
did some good
Check this
research.
out, man. I told you. So when I bring people on, and I have my team do some research to see who they are, so I can kind of know, because I know I met you before, but I don't actually know all the things that you do. And so, but I know you got a positive mindset, and so the mindset that we bring it, I wanted to bring you on because I know that you think on a different level. Like it's like sometimes I think people just need to get to where they get around people that they can get the mentality of see how other people think, and then it just that changed their life. That would change my life. You feel me? And so today we're gonna go about the foundational things about mindset change. And so what when you say foundational things on mindset change, what did that bring into you? How did you start your journey? What does that mean?
Oh man, how did I start my journey? That's a great question, man. Coming from where I came from, being from the projects of Chicago, born and raised on the South Side, my mindset that I was conditioned to have was a mindset of poverty, scarcity thinking, and lack. And to be honest with you, I really don't know where the shift really happened as it pertains to developing optimistic mindset. I really think um, growing up, I had a mindset of grit. I had a mindset of tenacity. I had a mindset. I had to be tough where I grew up at,
Mm-hmm.
um, because I grew up short. I had a Michael Jackson voice. I got bullied. So I was forced to be tough. I was forced to fight back. So the mindset of a fighter, I had that at an early age because at some point you're gonna get tired of being bullied, right? Sometimes you got to fight the bully, right?
Hey, you being
And
bullied
so,
big, boy. That's not how you being bullied, but yeah, it's
man,
everybody.
listen here, man. I was short. I said, "Hey, everybody, we're gonna go outside and play basketball and football." So I had the Ralph Transvet Boys, the new edition of the Project Boys, right? But I wasn't a singer.
Okay.
God had blessed me with that voice. So, started off being tough minded. But I would like to say, man, I always had an affinity for being disciplined because at my neighborhood, the people who did not get messed with, I mean, no one messed with these guys. And who would have thought they were known as Fruit of Islam, FOI? And I used to see how the Muslims used to conduct themselves, and they were my first introduction of what manhood will look like, what discipline will look like. And I had an opportunity. I think I was 15 years old. I don't know who put the book in my hand, but it was Malcolm X book. Alex Haley, who was the writer of Roots, he wrote the autobiography of Malcolm X,
Man, dude,
and
that book
that
right
was the
there,
book that shifted me.
that book shifted, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was in the penitentiary, now you
Hmm.
brought something different out, and it was in that book. Cause see, I was stone bone, and I ain't want to get on the religion, but I'm stone the other way. And then the guy said, "Man, read this book," and I was so shunning it because of what I thought and what I knew, right? And so I picked up the book and then I was reading it by the light. It was like a little light that would come in, and he was talking about how he used to read the Bible, used to read the dictionary so he can learn words. And he said he used to read the
Mm-hmm.
book late night while his celly was asleep by the and he had the little light coming on. Dude, I'm talking about I felt his
Yep.
power in that book. That book, when you said that book, that's a powerful book, dude, because it actually changed my life as well.
Yeah, that was like one of the first foundational pieces that allowed me to have a mental shift. When I understood his transformation, I for the first time saw myself, you know,
Facts.
as as being someone like him. Like he gave me hope. And if people who follow me on my speaking journey, my cadence, my energy, my veracity, my vernacular is due to the honorable, Malcolm X. So he always get. I'm gonna always speak highly of him. And then it was Honorable Mosiah Marcus Garvey who really put the seed in my head of entrepreneurship because he was the consummate entrepreneur. If you really understand his history of what Garvey was actually about, he was a man of industry, multiple industries, and he dominated those industries. And so those were the two people that really shifted my mindset. And what was so crazy, their mentor, Marcus Garvey mentor, Booker T. Washington, was one of Malcolm X's father's closest friend. So when you
So you
see
know
the
what?
lineage,
Yeah,
when you see
it's
Booker
funny.
T. Washington,
Yeah,
Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, you can see the connection.
dude, I don't have a conversation that I hear talk like this. This is the first time I heard some stuff like this, and it's cool, man. Like it's the first time I heard some stuff like this. I ain't know that you go back that deep in your mindset. Like that is truly how you actually define yourself by where you're rooted in. You know, you're rooted and
Absolutely.
grounded. You get something, you get the roots. Because if you don't have something that to hold on to, then you can kind of get swayed anyway. So I do like that step. So go ahead and when you say foundation, what is more of the foundational stuff? Like what are some of the earlier things that you learned as far as changing over from that guy to this guy?
Well, the number one thing I learned is to forever be a student because I'm not that guy. Trust me, I'm not that guy. I still have ways to go. And I'm excited knowing that I have ways to go to evolve into the highest capacity or version of myself. So I'm not that guy, but I wasn't that guy I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I could say that. I think it was due to, my environment change. Just started going around people who think like me or and who didn't think like me because I got around some people that challenged me,
Yeah.
that challenged the way I think, that challenged the way I speak, that challenged the way I went about doing business and living my personal life. And I used to fight back. I used to fight back. But what they didn't know is I've always taken what they told me to heart. I just felt like I could use it when I want to use it. So I always meditated on when someone gave me some constructive criticism or when someone just flat out said, you ain't shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I took those words to heart because I was able to look at those areas of where I wasn't shit. And if I can identify with that, then I know that's areas I need to work on. Because
Mm,
sometimes your haters, if you want to call them haters, they're gonna have the biggest mirror in front of you. They're gonna reflect a lot of your flaws, a lot of things that your friends or family may enable you or may, smother or, not put around. But your haters, hey, if they don't give two F's about you, they're going to show you who you are in that moment. And if you can identify with that, then it's up to you. The character in you need to be developed to push through it and to say, no, I'm not that. And you got to continue to push through.
you
So
know what?
that's just there's a finish just the books, the environment, getting around like-minded individuals, try to surround myself around men and women who are of high caliber, who have integrity. You know, some of the things that I was lacking growing up um, played a huge role in my life, and it's still
That's true.
to this
You
day,
know
it's
what?
playing a huge role in my
That's
life.
true. That's true. A lot of times when I be coaching, talking to people, there's some of the things that you missed when you was younger that makes that power for the day. Just like me not having a father. So my father being deceased out of my whole life made me want to be a father to my children that much more. Now that being said, I want to be better than the father I could be. So by me not having that is my drive to want to be that more. Does that make sense? And so
Yeah.
that's the mindset that I think that some people have to tap into. Like when you going through certain difficulties in life or certain issues that you got to go through, because business, my God, when we get to this, we can talk about business, but we're going back to the foundation before we was into the business. How did you get in that mindset? Because sometimes people are in the business right now and they don't have the foundational mindset of even getting in the business. They just seeing everybody doing business and say, hey, I want to do business. But it comes from that deep, like that, when people have that vision or that passion, it comes from something within that's deep within that you may have missed or may not had, and then you put that into the world, and that becomes that vigor that you don't burn out. Because honestly, for me having my not having a father, for me, I'm just speaking to me, by not having a father, and we want to be there for my children, I had to figure things out. So I had to figure things out my own way. A man gets his definition from a man, like a boy gets a definition from a man. So I read, right? But so I was lost. I'm like, what? Man, I don't know what it is. So when I was where I was, when I was in the pen, I started to look at other men. No, did it? But I'm looking at the characteristics of them that I wanted. Like I would see guys that was really up front, like he was upstanding. He would do what he said he would do, and I was like, man, I like that about him. And then I got to a point where I could say good things about people because, like you said, there's that mirror in front of you. And so, since I didn't know what it was, I started mirroring the things in other people that I wasn't ashamed to tell them that I liked that they had. So, man, you
Well,
know what, man?
you was tapping into what makes you a man. I've come to the realization really like a couple of years ago, probably half a decade ago, that manhood is a skill set that has to be taught by another man. And I was reading this book probably about 10 years ago. And this is specifically for men. In order for you to be the man that you want to be, you need to find a man that you admire,
Yeah.
emulate that man so you can become a better man. That's how most men become greater men. For example, we can all talk sports, right? If it wasn't for David Thompson and Dr. J, we don't get Michael Jordan.
Okay.
We don't get Kobe Bryant if we don't have Michael Jordan.
Okay.
We don't get LeBron James if we don't have Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. We don't get Kevin Durant if we don't have Kobe Bryant. We don't get Devin Booker in today's time if we don't have Kobe Bryant, Jason Tatum, a Kobe Bryant protege, right? So when you look at the lineage, of men that were great before them, and they're becoming greater. You don't get Shaq if you don't have Wilt,
Okay.
right? You don't get Embiid if you don't have Shaq,
Gotcha.
right?
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
So when you
So
look
we
at
all
that
bring together. Basically, it's all us being together, coming together, and learning off of
and
somebody else in front of
looking at their traits to see, because to be honest with you, sounds we don't give Benjamin Franklin enough credit, right? Benjamin Franklin said something that was so simple. He said, "Why recreate the wheel?
you. Yeah.
Why recreate the wheel?" So whatever will of manhood or whatever mindset, your will of mindset that you want to envelop, why would you recreate that will? You go find those people and you study those people, and then you emulate what they do, and then your special sauce is your personality. But if you do the things that they did, if you look at some of our, like one of my To me, he was my first online mentor. The world is catching up to him now. But I've been listening to this man for 15, 20 years, the great Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is the GOAT of motivation and inspiration. But when you look at his proteges, when you look at the Tony Robbins, when you look at the Daniel Hardys, when you look at these people, they emulated the great Jim Rohn, right?
Gotcha.
To a
Gotcha. I
to a
got your
T.
mind. I see where you're going. I see where you're
If you
going.
look at if you look at the great Dr. Eric Thomas, right now the world's number one motivational speaker, if you listen to him speak, you hear Inky Johnson emulating exactly. He has a different story, but he emulates Dr. Eric Thomas' cadence, his delivery,
Mm-hmm.
his punchline. Same with this guy we was in the same mastermind, Andy Henriquez. You listen to this brother, you close your eyes, you would swear you listening to Les Brown. It's no knock to them. They
No, it's
didn't recreate the
honest.
wheel. They
Yeah,
they 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 followed suit. They took the necessary steps
yeah.
to get to the next level of manhood. And so to be a man in today's time, what I realized, you have to find someone that you admire. Then once you find who you admire, then you need to find that sword you're willing to die on.
Mhm. Well, willing to die on what that means. Now, that's a little deep one. I ain't ready to die yet. I got some things to do, fam. Hold up now. Hold up
well,
now. Hey, you went a little
well,
deep now. Hold
hey,
up.
that's part two of the conversation. We'll go
That
to the
sounds good. That
that's next
sounds
week.
good. That sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds good. But no, that's big. That's heavy though, because honestly, man, real do true life. Like when you started, because I talk to a lot of younger guys as well, and a lot of younger guys. What I find about my life is that what I want to do is I like to give what I didn't have. Right. So a lot of
Right.
times that thing that we want. Yeah, we want this cleaning business. Yeah, we want the financial business. Yeah, we want the real estate, all of that, right? We can get to all of that. But what makes you go through it when them days are dreary? What makes you go through them days? And see, that's what the foundational mindset is about. That's where the foundations come in. Because see, like I tell my guys, when the structure, how big you built the structure is how long you lay on the work on the foundation. Like if you're building a house, that foundation don't have to be as deep as wide as we're doing a skyscraper. So a lot of times we get that ending, we get that ideal, we get that thing, and we shoot off. And that's why having a coach or having other people around that has more time to think because they have gone through certain things. So the best thing in life, man, that I've been doing is putting my business in a position to where I could come back and do some things like this, or I could be able to figure out how to maneuver my business through my mind. Right now,
For sure.
you couldn't get that way. I got the business started through my mind, but then I had to put some physical labor. We get so big bogged down into the physical labor that we forget we just start moving. And we got to do things like we don't have a time to sit back. So sometimes in this entrepreneur journey, we have to go back to the foundation.
Well, you
Because see,
gotta understand.
when you
But
say,
you got.
when you said
Mhm.
this, you said this right here about the principles that you learned, it right? You said you went to Inka Johnson and all that. And now I'm not a real big on sports. I'm business, 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 business. I don't know sports. I do know about speaking on stage because that's what I'm looking for. But when you said those, I got principles. So when I was in the penitentiary, when I was starting to get into the business, I was studying principles of business. I was
Mhm.
studying the principles of how business. That means cleaning business, real estate company, whatever principles. When I found out real estate was a business, I started studying the business of real estate, and I started implementing
Right.
the business. So when you say that, you saying principles. That's what I hear you say.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
what I hear you say.
Principles.
And the foundation. Let me go through a couple of these things right here. We got
Okay.
Mary Joy saying, "Woo!" All right, hey, Mary Joy chiming in. All right, said you're amazing, Mr. Cory. So you
Wow.
just all right. Oh, where you gone? Oh, he fell out. Where you go? Are you going back? You coming on back, my guy? Well, he fell out right now. We get back. So, what we was talking about is the mindset, like how actually what's the foundational parts of getting this thing going. He back right now, and again, this is my first time doing a live like this, and this is more my more talking and getting into it type of thing. Yeah, I'm big business. I'm all about business, but sometimes you get deep down into that other side. What got you to want to get in business? Sometimes if you having them rough days and you go and look back to what happened, what started, how you missing pops, or you was missing moms, or mom was struggling, or I came up in the neighborhood, or anything, man. You know what I mean? All of those things tap on into, and then you know what I mean, you go. You back, my guy?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I didn't get in business for
Hold on, we got
the
one more.
reason.
They said this live is the best with Mr. Cory. We learn a lot. It's different level of mindset.
Well, tell them I
All
said thank
right.
you, thank you. I didn't get into entrepreneurship or get into business the traditional way. All right. So some people get into business because they get fed up with an issue, right? And they decide they want to solve a problem. They want to be a problem solver. I.e., if you look at the story of Uber, the CEO of Uber was actually an alcoholic,
Mm,
right? And I think he probably got busted like on his third or fourth DUI, right?
okay.
Unfortunately, drinking and driving was just not his thing, right? His
Okay.
ass always got caught, right? But
Mhm.
because of that pain, he sat back and said, "Hey, I know I'm not the only one that deal with this issue. I know I'm not the only one who drinks and drive. I know I'm not the only one who have multiple DUIs, right?" So he took that pain that he was suffering from, right? And he
Mhm.
chose not to suffer because pain is necessary, but suffering is a choice. So he chose not to suffer anymore. He became a problem solver, i.e., he created Uber. I'm sure he didn't think Uber was going to take off, but when you look at that one person who decided to be a problem solver, look at the other multi-million dollar industries that came because of this man's pain. And he
Mhm.
chose not to suffer anymore. So that's why most people, get into business, right?
Mhm.
Some people get into business due to legacy. My father, my father, my father, my mother, my mother, my mother, my friend, my friend, my friend.
Point start a
They
legacy.
saw the success of their peers, their friends, their families, and it's just in them. It's a family thing. I've had a multitude of conversations where people got into this industry because their mother was a great seamstress and she passed it down to her daughter, who not only became a seamstress, but she decided to open up her own seamstress company, which is going to pass down to her daughter, or son, who may become a fashion designer, right? So that's how it tends to happen. Me, I'm as non-traditional as it get. To be honest with you, man, I wanted to do what the hell I wanted to do. I had vices that I enjoyed. I have vices that I enjoyed, and I got tired of them being in prison. I got tired of having to ask for day offs. I got tired to wait for permission to go drink. I got tired to wait for permission to do whatever the hell I wanted to do at whatever time. And so that's what drove me to entrepreneurship. It wasn't about becoming a multimillionaire. It wasn't about uh, becoming, a six-figure earner, winning awards. It was really about me doing whatever the hell I wanted to do anytime I wanted to do it. And I carried on that mindset for a very long time in business. I think the beauty of the space I'm in right now, I'm actually transitioning from being a hustler to becoming a CEO, to
See
truly being
see,
an
I didn't know where
executive.
you was going. See, now I'm listening to you because see your delivery is a little different than mine, and I'm listening to you. But now I see what you're saying. Because yes, you're right. A lot of people that I hear say the same thing too. They say I want to do what I want to do. They want to get in business, and now you're saying you transition over to be the entrepreneur. So that say that a lot of people say that, and they realize that's a fallacy because even though you say you do what you want to do, me being in business, bro, I work for everybody. Like I got so many people pulling me left and right to try to do things that I thought what I thought wasn't that. Like it's not that I mean I know that I want to go because I want to build my business. That's the only thing I
Right.
know. I still have to go. I gotta go back and take care of this client. I gotta go back and do this. I gotta go do that, right? So, but it is a freedom. It is a freedom that you get with doing it for yourself versus
And
doing
it's
it
a
for
cost. That freedom has a cost to it. It's a cost, and it's some of the things that you touched on earlier that I'm actually touching on now. And this is something we knew early on. I think that's the beauty of you and I guess being in our mid 40s and we're growing and we're becoming better men, becoming better business owners as we evolve as men, fathers, sons, future husbands, whatever the case may be. Just understanding it's time to make that shift because our why has becoming bigger, has
Yeah,
became bigger.
right.
Our vision has become more grand, and now me and you both understand the importance of systems. See, I always knew what systems meant, but I always thought that was for someone else, not for Cory Beal Sr. Because Cory Beal Sr. could do whatever the hell Cory Beal Sr. Want to do. But I can tell you right now, your vision don't care about what Cory Beal Sr. want to do. Your business plan don't care about what Cory Beal Sr. wants to do.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? The people that you are ministering to, that you are saying that you're going to deliver top-notch customer service, they don't care about what Cory Beal Sr. want to do. And too many times I got that conflated. I put that right here, right? But now understanding the importance of systems, and if your people that's watching, the people that's watching live, really haven't broke down what systems stands for. Systems really stands for saving yourself time, energy, and efficiency, which equals more money to you. SYSTEM. Saving yourself time,
true.
efficiency, and energy to make more money. Once I accepted that, that's when now I'm focusing more on working in my business, on my business, than working in my business. So that's why it's important for us to have these type of conversations because
Yeah.
there's millions upon millions of entrepreneurs that's not being taught this at all, right? This just the true truths about the cost of ownership because it's a cost for ownership. This shit ain't free.
Yeah. So you know what though? Honestly, like when you say working in your business, that's where we are now. That's where I am now. So I was working in my business and I was in the franchise. Now this is the mindset part of it because I was in the franchise and I was the person that had to do everything. I had to do the cleaning and all of that stuff, and I was getting the money ticking out because my franchise had a cut. But I also wanted to put people in the building so I could start to scale my business. So mainly, I was the person that had to do most of the work. Now, when I started this is myself for my franchise, I still had the person that built the business doing the work mentality. So although I switched over and I started building my independent company, I started doing more marketing, more stuff. My system was still mentally me. So I ended up building another company the same way that I was building that first company. Right. And so I guess he went off again. So being that said, I did that. And let's see when he come back. See when he come back. I might have to get used to these lives with people on. I might get used to these live people on.
Like,
This my
let's go. Here I go.
yeah. Hey, this is my first one, so it's cool.
That's
I like
cool, man. Hey, give up.
give up the
Come
first one.
on, man.
Get somebody in there.
Yeah.
Do live by myself, so I'm getting live, but I want to actually give more because I see a lot of people they follow me, they sign the chime, and I say a lot of people, and the hundreds are cool for me. You know what I mean? I ain't at the thousands and the millions yet, but honestly, man, the uh the mindset, the mindset has definitely got to be there. And so when I was telling you, like when I started to build my business again, I started to build it with me in it, like me doing all of
Right.
it. And so now that I have another system. So I started building a system which is way global, and I started being my virtual assistants in the marketing business so it could push my cleaning company. Now I was building that as a system, and I was learning through that second business how not to be in the first business that much because it's people overseas and I couldn't be in and do all the stuff, right? Even in that business, I used to stay on the phone with them, stay on the Skype with them about 8, 9 hours a day. Because all I knew in my mind was I had to be in the business to make it work. Oh, now I've started to being able to delegate and stuff and putting systems in place. And then when I did that, all hell broke loose. I lost a whole bunch because I didn't know how to step away. Right? I didn't know how to step
Right.
away. And some of the policies and procedures that when you doing everything yourself, you don't have those policies and procedures in place. You know what I mean? And so you just doing it. You know the policies and procedures. Now, as you, I don't know if you built the business from the ground up, or how did you is it like a franchise you brought in? Do you have to put policies and procedures and train? How does that go? What do you have to do in your business? Give me a little
Man, I
background.
mean, you know what? I started off as a true visionary, right? I was just building the business, and for the longest, I didn't have policy and procedures. For the longest, I didn't have systems in place. Um, I was just hustling, right? I was just hustling, coming up with great ideas, not executing on them fully. It became like the jack of all trades in business, right? One thing I did know how to do was hustle. I knew how to make money, right? Consistently though, like turning my phone into an ATM machine and my laptop into an ATM machine, that was difficult because I didn't have any systems in place. I didn't have the foundational parameters you need to ensure that your business is a profitable one. It was just hustle, hustle, hustle. I'm gonna continue to hunt what I kill so I can eat, right? And that shit gets tiresome, right? That gets draining, and you get lapped by someone who understands systems faster than you. So no, I didn't have those. I'm like an employee handbooks, which I'm currently working on right
Yes.
now with my transitional services. I got my great COO sitting right next to me. Um, that's going to ensure Mr. Vitra Hood, aka Master Reflections. She's going to ensure that something that I was horrible at, which was details, pay attention to the details. I finally succumbed to my weakness. She was like, "Hey, man, I need you to do this. This is what I need you to do. I need you to make sure that this is the area that I'm weak in," and that's one of her greatest strengths. And she was able to. She's going to make sure I get that. I got an in-house grant writer that's going to ensure that I get my grants done. And she's a curriculum specialist, helping me write my curriculum. I hired an executive assistant who background is all about organization, areas that I'm weak in, right? To ensure that I'm able to now honor my word to my clients, to my future customers, and to take that shit off my hands that I'm just not great at. Let me be great at negotiating. Let me be great at closing deals. Let me be great at fostering, profitable partnerships. Let me go be great at bringing the money in. Let y'all be great of allocating it to the
Yeah.
places that need
Yeah.
to be allocated, right?
Yeah.
So this business can be a fine-tuned business. So now I have some people that actually love me, that's in these powerful roles with me, that want to see me build. And I decided to, like I said, hire from my weakness. As I strengthen my strengths, I hired from my weakness.
Yeah. So you know what? When you say that, that's good because honestly, that's what I did now. Like I'm putting together a whole admin team. And this is what I do for other businesses. So I have a whole virtual assistant admin team that help people from the back end of it so they can have a team, something that I didn't have when I was building. And so when you said building a business come from something, it came from something that I needed because when I was building my business, I didn't have people around me that needed to do that I needed to do what I needed to, I mean, that did what I needed to do when I needed them to do it. So I had to create something as a system that can put out everything that I needed to happen. Like I'm online, I got my YouTube, I get this edited. I have a lot of things going, like cold calling system, all of that stuff I needed for my company. I needed a company to do that for me. And so I created that for myself. But the problem is when you get a system, you don't know how to delegate all the time. And so now the system that I have is definitely to actually promote, build, build more. So you get your system together, and that's what it is, huh?
For sure. I mean, you know what? So the word that was given to me spiritually about 6 weeks ago was obedience, right? And when I read this word obedient, I realized that you got to be obedient to the laws that govern the activities of XYZ. So, what is the law of business? What are the laws of business?
Mhm.
Once you define what the laws of business, you're going to have to be obedient to those activities to ensure that you have a profitable business. What are those activities, right? Like you said, you have to build a system. I don't know not one multi-million, at least the ones I know personally, not one multi-millionaire or billionaire that don't have systems in place. Here I
No,
am telling me myself that I want to be a multi-millionaire. I'm in every industry that can make it happen with no damn systems. Therefore,
no,
I'm
you
being
have,
disobedient.
yeah.
And
So what happened?
if I'm being disobedient, then I'm violating the principle that's biblical. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. Right? So
No,
just look at all these principles you violate if you don't be obedient to the laws that govern the activities of said XYZ. Am I making sense to you, boss?
no, that makes a lot of sense because again, it's with the principles. But I'm gonna wrap this on up here real quick, man. But I appreciate you
Okay.
coming. But I definitely though, no, we're gonna definitely talk about the system because I definitely before I go, I want to just jump. I just want to talk about the system because I didn't have systems for a while. I didn't have
Right.
systems for a whole long time. I was the system, and now that's the whole thing. Like honestly, I was the whole system, and so when I try to take myself out, it crumbled. It crumbled. Like and so before we got on, I was telling you like I started plan B with a plan A mindset. So I was in here working, I'm doing all the working and cleaning and doing all of that. But I want to build multiple streams, right? But sometimes people trying to build multiple streams and they don't have multiple stream the mindset set up first. Because
Right.
if what I did was like I told you, I built my cleaning company with me in it with my franchise. I started to, I fell down a little bit. I was moving out. I had to build my independent with me in there. I started the other company, and get what? I was in there too, because that was the mindset. It wasn't until I couldn't get to those people because they was overseas that I was like, oh wait a minute, I can't do all of that. And so now I start to let things off. But over here, my cleaning company is hurting because I'm used. They need me to be around, and so
Mm-hmm.
what I had to do is I had to build a system to let people make mistakes. So I got people making mistakes, losing stuff, and I got to be okay with it because I got to know, I got to trust them to get it. And see, that's what the hard part is because you got to trust, you got to put trust and faith in your team that they can get it. Because first of all, some of the things you don't know. See, I didn't know about the training. See, I got them doing training YouTube videos. I didn't know nothing about the training, about the policies and procedures. I just think when I tell people to do something, they know how to
They're
do
gonna
it.
do it. Right.
Gonna do it, but they need the policies and procedures going in. No wonder. See, when I'm building on my own and not coming from the background of going through the corporate, I didn't know why they sit you down at that long table, give you that big old and have you read the process of things about that. I ain't had none of that. You coming on here, I'm letting you sign a W-2 or 1099, and I'm a hire you, baby. I need to put you in the building. None of
Right.
that.
Right. Right.
Why that stuff like you know what I mean? And so that's what I'm realizing now. It's more about the training, it's more about the policies. I gotta stick more. So I'm working on the manual myself. I'm going through, got my team going through value. One thing I realized, man, I've built a company for 6 years, man. And I asked my lady that's partner right there, well, what's the vision of the company? She got a different vision, I got a vision. Now we got two different visions, and she ain't even thought about the vision. What about the value? So when you build and another thing I realized, and I'm gonna give you some more stuff because I built out in my company. I was building a company, not a brand. So what I realized, what I started to do now, when I got people working with me, I started to realize that people care about the brand more than they do the company. And the reason
They
why I say
do.
is because think about Nike and Jordan. I got a son that put a Jordan on on the wall. See, I don't cuss on my YouTube. On the wall because it's a Jordan,
Oh,
because
my
it's a
fault,
different.
man. You let me just curse and whatnot. I would have held
It's
off.
I didn't tell you. See, this is my first one. So guess what? It's my first one, and I gotta let it go. I didn't want to say nothing in front of everything. I let that thing ride. But no, it's on serious. But again, I can take it out, put it up. I don't know if you can get banned on YouTube because I don't know. I'm
No,
just
you
about
definitely can't get banned on YouTube. We ain't saying nothing, no race bait, no hate,
uh,
no. Yeah.
I'm at 3,000 watch hours, man. I'm looking to get 4,000 and decide what type of content I want to bring out because I don't just want to be all about cleaning because there's so much more to cleaning than what I got going on. But what I'm
Right.
saying is when you're talking about building the brand, so the whole time I've been building the company, I got people in the buildings and they're going to clean the buildings. I did not once think about talking about the brand. I never understood why when I was with my franchise, he always said, protect the brand, protect the brand, protect the brand. When I lose buildings, my buildings is now a reflection of the brand. So instead of building the company, we are building the brand. The brand lasts longer than the company. You feel what I
Yeah.
mean? You got brand, you
Facts.
got companies that shut down and the brand's still going. I mean, I still get you know what I mean? They got John that got took out of major, no did it. But they still got people wearing them. So my
Well, look,
thing is,
ain't nobody finna be wearing Sean John no more. They
are
ain't
you
even
right?
trying to listen to his music no more.
Are you right? You right? Are you right?
That brand is officially tarnished.
He done as a company and a brand. No, but seriously though, no, as and what I realize is when we talking about building, we build this next thing with the same mindset. That's why they say focus on one thing. Dude, I almost lost everything trying to build three things at the same time, 2 years after each other. I started my cleaning company 2017, 2019. I started this marketing stuff. Started the marketing stuff. Then 2021, I started real estate. I started finding myself, and then I got the house in Detroit. So now I got stuff just going all kind of places and have no system because I was the one that was building the business. Right? I'm building this building. I
You
started
was
this.
the system, like you said.
Thank you. So now I got all these things coming on to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like Spider-Man trying to catch everything, but it's crashing, but it's coming down. But what I tell people all the time, charisma can get you there, but character is what's gonna keep you. The whole time I could look like a serial entrepreneur. We got people saying they could do this and they looking this way. But when you going through this thing for real, when you actually got to get down and realize that when you take your vision off of this first business to start this next one, that first one gonna suffer. Do you have your system in place, or can you
I'm
withstand to fall? Because you're
I,
gonna
I, I'm gonna push back just a little bit.
go and push back.
I,
I
th-
like push
I
back.
think everything you saying is have a high level of accuracy. But I've been around enough entrepreneurs to know that you could run multiple businesses simultaneously.
Facts,
However, you need to be clear on your vision and you got to have systems in place. You could not have any room for error.
facts,
And when you have room for error, that's where the collapse come in at, right? But the clarity, you understanding what you're doing and your why behind it has to be paramount. You know what I'm saying? You got to have so much resolve in what you're doing that nothing stops it. Nothing stops your vision. Nothing stops you from bringing your businesses to fruition. And what you said is very very true. Is that your brand does matter. For a long time, I quote unquote didn't care about the brand, but I realized it's because I didn't truly care about me. Because how you do one thing, or I don't, I take that other say, everywhere you go, there you are. So if I'm not caring about Cory Beal Sr., then I damn sure ain't caring about my brand,
yeah,
right? Because I am the brand,
yeah,
right? So I think that's very powerful what you just said earlier about the company and the brand, because I too I'm making that shift as we speak right now. Because my brand could be tarnished in some people's eyes based on the person who I was, who had the thought of the business, but the person who had the thought of the business is no longer the person that is carrying the vision out. And
that's
that's is an everyday evolution, and where you got to keep pressing forward so you can assure that that brand has that
yeah.
identity and that lasting legacy to carry on when you're no longer a part of it or when you're no longer on earth.
But see, I'm glad you see the difference, right? So we see the difference of building a company versus building a brand, and a lot of times
Hmm.
as I was going my first 5, 6 years of business, I'm building my business. I'm building my company. I'm building my company. It's just to now, as you said, that's switching over. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute, hold up. This is the brand I need to leave. I needed this brand to do something different. And so
Hmm.
I started with making sure everybody have core values. What is the values? I tell people like, what are the values that you have? You got a teammate and everybody hold true to values. If you got 15 values and have
You
people
got that down.
values, Everybody on the team that you want to be included, workers and everybody just pick out some values that hold true to you. Get 15 in the line. Everybody put them in. You can chat GPT that thing. You can get all this, everybody numbers. You can upload
Hmm.
and say what values did most people pick us around me, and then it'll be your company values. And what happens is the people that's in your company pick those values. Now they hold true to those values. What I was doing wasn't that. I was building my business and putting people to work with me, not talking about no values, not having nobody to even implement in the values, much less the vision of the mission. Nobody knew none of that. Everybody was just working. So now I've restructured it and be able to build it from the inside. And the business is it's not blooming as it was blooming, but I can see the rings inside the tree, so to speak. I can see the girth. I can see
I
how
mean,
it's
just keep nurturing your business. As long as you nurturing your business, planting the right profitable seeds, doing the right profitable activities, the money gonna come. The end result will be the end result, and the end result is really gonna be based on your daily actions. So you mean you're taking you're moving in the right direction. So just keep trending in that right direction, and keep going forward.
all right. So look, this is what I got. So at the end of the thing, man, I want to do a couple of things. So you told you I got my people. Let's make it a little fun again. I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna put some stuff on here, and I want to see what it means to you, man. So you don't know what it is, just know. But let me see what some of it mean to you. Let's see what this means to you right here.
I refuse to quit. Man, I think that was so important to me because I wind up hand that to me right quick.
What was that right there?
Wind up winning one of my awards, 6-figure earners, you know what I'm saying? Bring receipts to the building.
All right.
I refuse to quit. When I grew up, um, I've always felt that I had the Apostle Paul spirit in me, meaning that I'm going to always press toward the mark, regardless of what obstacle that's in front of me. I'm going to press toward the mark of whatever I said is excellent. So to see that sign, I just refuse to quit. I just refuse to quit, regardless of what odds may be stacked against me, whether I stack them myself or the things that I couldn't control, whatever obstacles in front of me, I refuse to give in. I refuse to give in because my vision is grander than my obstacles, than me having a quitting spirit. So that's why I always be transparent on Facebook. I don't care how many times people saw me start off trying to lose weight or working out or starting a business, starting to fail, it doesn't matter to me because I refuse to quit. And like the great inventor said, I think I forget his name, was it Edison, who created the light bulb, right? One of the things he said is that I didn't fail 10,000 times. I just found 10,000 times of ways that didn't work.
Yeah.
That's it. And so I just refuse to quit. I refuse to give in.
All right. So that's crazy because the next picture was this right here. So this was the next picture. What does that mean?
Man, so that's I got my little Facebook group called Pure Foolish Fitness, man. What it was about, we don't do no body shaming in there, man. Just trying to get people in there to be light about working out, and that was just me getting back into the lab. I think I'm just recovering from an injury, and it took me like 9, 10 weeks to truly recover. And I was like, man, I got to get back in that thing. I got to get back in the gym because I wound up missing the gym. So that was just me. I'm showing my boy Barry Hick. Been knowing him for over 20 years as well with some worker professionals. He's a licensed banker and investment advisor, actually. So one of my banking buddies, man, like, hey, man, we got to look good in our 40s. We got people that's following us, that's looking up to us. And this is my way of showing folks that I'm still in this gym. I get tons of inboxes or text messages. Hey, man, you inspire me. I love how you keep going. I love how you transparent. So that just me just showing my human side that, hey, I'm just as human as you, even though I might think I'm an alien sometimes. That let me show you that I'm in here working, and so you could get up and go work as well.
That's big. That's big. I got one more. I
Yes,
got one
man.
more. Right there, right there.
And I'm currently in the Nashville Entrepreneur Center right now. Your imagination is your greatest wealth building hack known to Godkind. I mean, it is what it is, man. Your imagination, just think about it. Your thought currently have you building multiple businesses. They come from right here. That was your imagination. You imagining the type of lifestyle that you want to have.
Hmm.
That comes from thought.
They say everything that's
That's
created twice. You know,
everything that's created is created twice.
it's created first in the mind and created in the physical.
And then it's created in the physical. So just think about imagination is limitless. You can imagine whatever you want to imagine. There's no limitations on
And you can use
imagining.
that GPT to go ahead and put it together.
And now you got Chat GPT that can put it together. Absolutely, right? That
Hey,
can
tell
really
that
bring your
GPT.
imagination, bring your imagination to pass. And just think about all the times we sit here and fight for our limitations, yet we got a mind that is actually limitless. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And so sometimes when people are in a dark space or in a space that they don't want to be in, or they may feel stuck, just sit back, close your eyes, and imagine the type of life that you want to live, and then and go do it. You
All
can
right.
be this
All right.
person in your mind. You do the activities that 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 how you see this person in your mind, so you can have what you want. Be do have.
Be do have be. Yeah, you gotta be it before you can do it. You can have it. Let me see. I got be one for myself. Let
I
me
got
see. They
one
put one
more.
who's up late working 100 hours for themselves to avoid working 40 hours. Okay. So all right. So that right there is definitely a epitome of entrepreneur. Because honestly, when I first started it, like I said, you said don't want to work for somebody. You working 100 hours for yourself, dude. I used to work 18-hour days in my business when I first started. I wasn't gonna do.
Hmm.
I was on, and everybody was looking at me, they laughing. They see me carry my backpack. My backpack vacuum. They would laugh at me. They see me going and clean. Kids and stuff had to go to school, but I still keep going. You know what I mean? So that's that man. I appreciate you coming on, man. And
Man, I
we have,
appreciate the opportunity, man. Thank you for allowing me to share my level of wisdom amongst your platform.
and I appreciate you coming on. We'll talk again, brother. All
Yes,
right.
sir.